85% of people prefer text over email and phone calls because they want to engage in a conversation. All text messaging is not equal. Customers respond to people, not bots. Be more like people and start having conversations that end in conversions. Use Scipio.
Andre, on a scale from 1 to 10, how into high fantasy are you?
When I was a kid, 10. These days, I find myself just not really doing it.
Is Lord of the Rings?
No. So Lord of the Rings has never really captured my interest.
What about Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, of course, did catch my interest.
Just the shows, or did you read
No,
the
I
books?
read the first 2 of the books as well. So I had a good run at Game of Thrones.
Did you like the books?
Yeah, I did.
I just finished The Way of Kings
Mm-hmm.
by Brandon Sanderson.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Brandon Sanderson is beloved.
I was like pretty hesitant
Mm-hmm.
because I'd started one of his other books called Mistborn, which I think is also really popular.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I just couldn't get into it. I think the way in which I was listening to it was like not a good.
Right.
Anyway, it's The Way of Kings is really good. It's like super well written, like really good characters, and it's like I would say fairly grounded. Like it's not elves and it's like people, and has a pretty good magic system. I would recommend it to anyone.
Wow.
I was getting like
high praise.
I was getting like sweaty hands by the end of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it on Audible?
It's on Audible, and the Audible's really good.
Really?
I
will say I am a stickler for an audio or an audiobook narrator.
Yeah.
It's like if they're not really good, then I cannot listen to it. So I'm gonna have to trust your judgment on that.
It's two people. It's a guy and a girl. And the book it's kind of split up into like 2 stories that are kind of going parallel. But yeah, the guy who does it, he does probably 20 different characters and different accents.
Yeah.
And it goes in and out really well.
Love that. Okay,
So-
well, I will commit to giving it a try. I have plenty of Audible credits, so it's like I got Audible to burn.
Yeah.
I'll take any Audible recommendation.
My brother pitched me on it this way. He said there's like 2 prologues to it. The first prologue is like, you'd be like, what is this? And it's like, don't worry about that one. The second one, if you like the second one, you'll be like, you're in. You'll either like the second one or you're like, this isn't for me.
Right.
So if you like the second prologue, you'll like the rest of the book.
Love it.
Anyway,
Yes,
So-
give us the name again.
The Way of Kings.
The Way of Kings by
By Brandon
Brandon Sanderson, available now on
And it's-
audible.com.
It's not a short book. I'll give you that. I'll tell you. I mean, it's 1,000 pages.
That's okay. I'm very open-minded about length.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, to the thieves out there, I'd recommend it.
I'm looking at his complete works right now because I feel like when I was a kid, I read something by him, but I didn't. I must just have made that up.
So this is his like main epic. It's like 4 books called the Stormlight Archive. And then there's like the Mistborn series, which is like, I think 2 books. And it's they're all part of this, like, I think he calls it the Cosmere. But they're all independent stories that happen on different planets.
Right.
So they're not really related, but you can kind of read them all independently.
We love a universe.
Love
what
a
we're all
universe here on the podcast.
Exactly.
Well, Andre, shall we?
Let's do a podcast.
Let's do it.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Steal.
Lie.
We're gonna steal the ship.
Commandant, Lord Lieutenant.
An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks.
For someone like you to steal?
Ideas are bulletproof.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Steal this idea.
Hello again, thieves.
We're back.
We are back. We had a nice long break.
Here we are. It was
here
summer
we are.
vacation.
We were going to record last week, but I was sick.
That's right.
And it
And
tends
then
to
it
be
just never.
if there's one reason, if we push one day, it's like, I'm sick. I think you were busy, and I was like, I'll do it tomorrow. And then I got sick, and I was like, you know what?
Let's just call it.
Let's just call it for the week. Here's the thing, thieves. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you'll know that Andre, he's a busy man.
Mhm.
I've got 3
We are both
young kids.
so busy, but we love this podcast so darn much that
Yeah.
we come back to it time and time again.
Yeah, I know that like best practice for podcasts is like be consistent, the same time every week. And it's like, look, our fans are our fans. Okay.
Exactly.
They know us. They know the struggle of real life, and they appreciate the humanity that sometimes we miss a
Exactly.
week.
Exactly. I think thieves, if you get to Wednesday morning and there still isn't a new episode of Steal This Idea, just like take a minute and think to yourself, Andre and Scott are so grateful to have me as a fan, and they're so grateful that I'm going to be patient and just wait for the next episode,
Exactly.
because that's what we need to think to get
Yeah.
by. It's just
And you know, we
if we didn't record, we needed it. Like
Yeah.
we needed the time.
exactly. Yeah, we need to reset our brains. We got a good episode today. Oh, by the way, this is the Steel City podcast. If this happens to be your first episode, hello, welcome. I'm Scott Knudsen. This is Andrew Washington. We are 2 savants in the business world, ideas, marketing, sales, all that jazz. And every week on Steal This Idea, we give out $1 million business ideas for you to steal. These are things from apps to storefronts to events to services and everything in between. Andre, is there an idea? I think this is like episode 95 or 96. We're almost at 100.
Yeah, should we do something really special for 100?
We should.
Write in thieves if you have some clever idea for 100th episode.
We'll give out 100 ideas.
100 ideas. It's the 100 ideas special.
Yeah.
Do I have an idea from a previous show that I'd like to highlight? Is that what you were about to ask me?
That is what I was about to ask. I know there's lots to choose from, and we often do.
I have
this.
a great one.
What's the idea that the thieves?
So
if you're newer, what should they check out?
So this is from July 2020. So this is about a year old. This idea was called Better Closet. And this was an idea that I came up with, which is basically like Topgolf for your laundry.
Right.
And basically was a system for checking in and checking out your clothing and measuring how frequently you're washing everything that comes in and out of your washer. It was actually a really good idea. And I'm thinking about it right now because I am so behind on laundry that it is scary. I'm looking at a huge pile off screen right now.
I think we talked about some sort of NFT tag system that like tracks like where they are. When's the last time you wore it? When's the last time in the wash?
Exactly.
There's
And
some
it would like
logistics stuff,
automatically
but,
identify clothes that you should throw away because you just aren't wearing them frequently enough.
You haven't worn this in 8 months.
And it could track how much of your laundry had entered essentially the unclean or dirty phase so that you would get notified to do your laundry so that you would have your favorites ready. It was a good idea, and it was called Better Closet, and you can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all those podcast places.
That's right. Check that one out. We got a good episode today. I got 2 workshops for Andre that I think we can get to full-fledged ideas. And before we get into that, Andre, let's do a little good idea, bad idea. What do we have in store, Andre?
So Good Idea, Bad Idea is a segment of the show where Scott and I bring the most interesting ideas that we've seen on our social media feeds in the last week, and we come to the podcast to answer one central question. Is this a good idea or a bad idea? Scott, click my first link. This is the Loop Vacuum, L-U-P-E, Loop, L-U-P-E technology.com. The Loop Vacuum is a new cordless vacuum. It very clearly competes with like the Dyson.
The Rolls Royce of vacuums is what this
Exactly.
says.
It's a brand you've never heard of course, right? And I was interested in this, one, because I got a really fascinating video recommended to me on YouTube by Vacuum Wars. Fans out there, if you are interested in vacuums, which I'm very interested in vacuums, and if you're looking for a new vacuum, please check out Vacuum Wars on YouTube. These videos are so good and like so scientifically driven, which is what I love about them, because reviews are so hard to do, except for vacuums, because it's like all science, right? It's just like how much can it suck and how good.
Yeah.
So the Loop, the reason that I was fascinated by this is because it did so well. It like outperformed Dyson and Hoover and like all these really big vacuum
Smashed
brands.
'em.
And I also think it's a really like attractive looking vacuum.
Yeah, it's handsome looking. I'm trying to.
Uh,
What's the? So it's a regular cordless vacuum is $649.
So there's definitely, I mean,
Ain't cheap.
it's Rolls Royce priced, right? This would compete obviously with like a Dyson,
Yeah.
which is hard to compete with Dyson because you've never heard of Loop and they don't have the cool Dyson guy on the commercial to sell you on it.
Do you think that we could become influencers and convince Loop to send us one?
So I will say the Vacuum Wars guy, they sent him one.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
well, he's Vacuum Wars. That's a little.
I know. It's like he's got better real estate than we do, but
I wonder if longtime listener of the show, Josh Wood, his wife is an influencer.
that's true.
Maybe we could.
Maybe she could get a Loop.
Maybe because she's selling to moms and stuff. Like that's kind of her jam.
My point, I think, globally is that they do send the vacuums out to influencers for free.
Yeah.
So that would be the best way to get one in our lives. It's hard to like put your faith in a new company like this for $650.
It's so funny because what's funny about what was it's not an appliance. What would you call a vacuum? Like it's like a consumer.
It's an appliance.
Yeah. Well, so what's funny about stuff like this is like it's like man, $650 for this. It's like oof, man. I mean, because that's probably the most on the high end of expensive, right?
Yeah.
But if you're like, I want to buy an iPad, that's like they're like $900, and you buy a $1,000 phone.
But what's hard is like I buy an iPad because it's from Apple. But if you try to sell me an ePad or something from some random brand, even if it purports that it's like better and cooler and faster and
Rolls Royce
stronger,
of tablets.
then it's like I'm just going to be really skeptical because I know I can just go get a great tablet for the same price from Apple. I feel like Loop is in a similar space.
But is
where-
Dyson Apple in this scenario?
In the vacuum world, don't you think?
I mean, I think they're.
I mean, Dyson is very clear. Like, if you want the most expensive, best vacuum, the option is very clearly a Dyson.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Well, I think it's at the top end of their market, but Apple is the wealthiest company in the world.
No, I get that it's different, but I'm saying that Loop has to compete with like a big
Sure, yeah.
incumbent. Not even just Dyson, it has to compete with like 5 or 6 vacuum companies
Yeah.
that are like household names.
We have a Shark that we really like.
Right? Shark is like another brand that is like pretty beloved, right? So to come in and be the Loop is pretty hard.
Well,
But it's a
hopefully-
cool looking vacuum.
It is. I like the
like-
kind of the green accents.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool vacuum.
Thieves, what do you think? Let us know. Idea@ghostdlc.com or chat us on Instagram. Let us know if you would consider buying a $650 Loop vacuum.
I'm strongly considering it.
I got one here for you, Andre. This is called Stride, the running game. This is not an app that I would ever use, but I thought it was really clever. If you've ever played one of those games like in Tony Hawk or whatever, where you or Splatoon, where you're like getting territory, this is that mixed with like Strava kind of situation, where basically you run around a block, and by doing that, you have then claimed the block for points. It's now your territory, and it looks like you. There's probably various game modes where you're kind of doing it for yourself, but I think also you're playing against some sort of team dynamic.
Completely competing against like other people that have also claimed areas.
I thought that was a really fun. Like I'm all about like gamifying in this type of way.
Where did you find this?
I got an Instagram ad for it.
Really? That's interesting because I definitely did not get an Instagram ad for this. I think that this is actually a really good idea. What I was hoping is that you would say you had heard about it, like through a friend that runs.
Oh no!
Because this falls into the category that we talk about all the time on the show, which is this game is only as fun as like other people that are playing it too, right? But the concept is really cool. Of like running around a specific area, claiming the area. It's like now you have your territory, growing your territory, competing against others for kind of geographic space that you control. I think the idea is actually really fun.
I'm trying to think if there's a way where you could instead of making this PvP or in addition to PvP, you make it kind of a PvE thing where almost like Pokemon Go or something where it's like you are trying to stop some malicious threat. And so it's like if your network isn't there yet, that's fine because there's this like solo thing, which isn't just like getting a big score. It's like, oh no, there's this, the realm has been infected by some evil and like you need to like run around it to cleanse it or something, and then that gives you like whatever mystical points, and then that you can it'd be cool if you like by getting more and more points you could like get discounts to running shoes or something.
Right. There's like you could see how it could just easily be PvE, right? So I hope that they invest some dollars in. That's just like if I'm Stride, if I'm making anything like this, any network effect thing, especially like a game, that would be my feedback. Is like you have start with like a really great PvE, because otherwise,
honestly,
how are you possibly ever going to get big enough?
Yeah, totally.
I will say, it must have some traction. Like they have a careers page with open jobs, they have a team, they have a pretty good website. So I hope that this sees some success. I do think it's a really cool idea.
All right, let's do this last one here.
Finlessfoods.com. On this podcast, we have talked frequently about meat replacement. True huge fans of the show know that I'm actually a big fan of Impossible Burger meat, beef replacement. Earlier this year on the show, I tried Nugs, which is a chicken replacement, which was not that good. And then I got an ad for Finless Foods, which is going to be a tuna replacement. And not just like a tuna sandwich replacement, but like a true like tuna roll, tuna everything replacement. And I was thinking to myself how completely uninterested I was in a tuna replacement. I think that if I were an investor in the meat replacement industry, it would be so hard. It is a handsome website, and I'm sure that their aims are noble and their goals are true. But I just think that solving for beef and chicken like gets you about 1,000 times further than trying to replace tuna.
Especially cows especially, it's like probably the number one contributor.
The environmental
to
impact.
Our environment. Whereas like there are definitely ramifications for like fishing too much, and there's bad stuff that goes on in the open seas for sure. Our dependence on stuff like obviously bad. That being said, I would probably prefer double the effort of like, hey,
exactly
version 2 of beef. That's like it's not just the same. It's better tasting, or whatever.
It's just hard. Surely in the long-term goal of fixing our dependence on natural resources, someday we've reached the point where it's like, okay, now we're getting to tuna as another food to be replaced in our diets with a non-animal alternative. But it's so far down the list for me, and I think I like tuna pretty considerably. This is a good food to me, but tuna features in my diet like maybe once a month, I would say. Where beef and chicken are surely in most days.
I eat chicken almost every day.
Exactly. So I just was thinking, I was curious what thieves would think. I was curious what you would think about the importance.
Travel, being able to create Impossible Burgers, Impossible Tuna, spice it up on that 3-year flight to Jupiter or whatever.
It looks quite authentic. They have pictures of the tuna replacement. Kind of looks like maybe cut up beef.
The two founders look very young. I don't know if you've looked at the about page here. They just look like
what we would look like if we started a tuna replacement company.
Should we start a tunaless tuna company?
They all look freakily related.
A little bit, huh?
Michael O'Brien and Shannon. They kind of look like they all are the same person. They handed off their headshot to a graphic designer and said, Like, can you make me look like 3 different people for the team page?
Can you imagine?
It'll
be fun, actually. This is a total tangent. I don't even know what made me think of this. I guess your kind of catfishing comment, but if you made I don't know if it's like a reality show or something, you made something where like the goal was how realistic of a company could you make and how far could you go with it? Like getting sponsorship and money and this and that and like, seeing just how many people you could like, oh wow, like what you could scrimp on, and like that would be like a fascinating thing to watch.
Yeah, what would be fun? I mean, I think it maybe could be like a YouTube web series, but what it could be is you get a bunch of maybe like average Joes around, and you say we're coming to a pitch competition, and like they sit through 3 different pitches, and then at the end the catch is one of those companies isn't even real. Which one do you think it was?
Oh, sure.
Like, that would be kind of interesting to see. And I mean, you pitch it to companies is like, hey, you get this opportunity to pitch your company and like get some press from it.
Sure. Yeah.
But the bigger angle is like, oh, this is a funny comedic enterprise where one of these ideas is insane and zany, but it kind of fits like, perfectly in with the other 2 ideas.
It's almost like that TV show, Why Would You Lie to Me? Where like basically you have 3 people and they make like almost like a press video of like, this is what we're doing at so-and-so, and you got to film them like working on stuff or whatever. And so it's like, and one of them is super fake. Yeah. And then they have the ability to like go online, like look at reviews, for like a couple minutes or something. Like see if they can like really trick people into thinking something's legit. That would be awesome.
Well, that's a free idea, Thieves.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pay for that one.
Have you seen that Lil Dicky's Make That Money?
No, I have not.
So
this is a music video, or
so one of his songs that made Lil Dicky more prominent. It's a song called it's called Save That Money, and he makes this like really long music video about. He's like, I want to make a rap video, but not spend any money on it. And so like he makes like a little documentary to go along with it, but he like basically like knocks door to door at like in like mansions and be like, hey, can we just film like a couple scenes in your backyard? And he goes to like a Ferrari dealership and he like talks to a guy to a nightclub. He like convinces some guy with a huge boat. He's like, we just need like, shots or whatever.
I just need like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Real quick. On, off.
We'll put a big ad at the end of the video that says your thing, and then like he T-Pain, he like happened to kind of know T-Pain. He like told him what he was doing. And then T-Pain's like, well, I'm filming this music video. He's like, could I like film it? Can I film it on the side and make it look like it's mine? He's like, yeah, I don't care. So he's like stealing shots from this other music video. Anyway, it's a great, but like this whole like him constructing it is like fascinating. How he's like able to convince these people.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that because
it's a good time. It's a fun
and I like Lil Dicky. I think that he's great.
He is great. All right, Andrew, let's move on to the main event here. I've got 2 ideas.
And these are workshop ideas.
These are workshop ideas.
They are not fully fleshed out, but together we will discuss and try to get them to a workable state.
And you're going to have to get a little bit in the theater of the mind on both of these.
Yes.
Well, I should say both of these are ideas that came out of problems that I experienced as the father of little kids. And so because you don't have kids, you'll have to step into, either Andre with little kitties or little kitty Andre.
Sure.
Or whatever.
I can do that.
Okay. I'm trying to decide which one of these I want to pitch first and how I want to pitch them. Okay. I have a fun factoid for you. What percentage of McDonald's revenue...
I love this question.
What do you think? Well, I don't want you to guess too high.
Okay, I promise I will guess a reasonable
What percentage of McDonald's revenue do you think comes from Happy Meals?
Maybe like 5%.
20%.
Really?
20%.
That is actually shocking to me.
I know. So
that is shocking.
So it got me thinking.
Because honestly, if you had said that McDonald's was considering doing away with the Happy Meal, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a really important part of their business.
Right.
McDonald's, as parents listeners out there know, is the gold standard when it comes to kids' meals. It just is. And a big portion of that is the kids' toy. It's better than anything else. Like, I'm a big Chick-fil-A apologist. That's not too hard to do. A lot of people like Chick-fil-A. Their kids' meal is okay. Their toys kind of suck, honestly. They're like,
really?
It's like,
I didn't even know that Chick-fil-A had a toy.
I mean, the best thing about the kids' meal at Chick-fil-A is it has like a nice hearty fruit cup, which is like better than just apple slices.
A bag of apple slices.
But most fast food kids meals are like not great. McDonald's is like pretty great. So it got me thinking. 20% of McDonald's revenue is coming from just kids meals. Could you make a kids meal only or a priority restaurant where the purpose is it's the McDonald's kids meal, but that many more options, and yeah, adults can eat there too, of course. And it's kind of like your inner kid or whatever. Like everyone's getting a kids meal. You lean into it, but the idea is like this is all we do. It's a cool little box and it's a cool toy, and you have a couple side options, whatever. But like that's all it is. It's like, oh, I want to go to kid. I don't even know. I couldn't come up with a good name for this.
Yeah, but there is one out there.
Yeah,
like there's a good name. Yes, I think the answer is 1,000 billion trillion times yes. I think that it would specialize in all of those kid-friendly foods, right?
Yep.
It would specialize in like this awesome parent-friendly value prop, like a hearty fruit cup or a
right. You mix them,
calcium fortified something or whatever, right? And the toy would be awesome.
The toy would be awesome. Yeah.
I think that this is a great idea. This again, and I don't know why this seems to be the case with all of our ideas, but to test this in Utah would be like the ultimate.
Oh yeah.
It could be so good. And I have to assume that it would be so easy to be like, okay, we'll drive through. We need a name. It's so hard.
Let's just say
We'll drive through Kiddopolis for Jack and Archie, and then I'm going to get Chick-fil-A. And it's like, that seems like a pretty reasonable value. And it's like, okay, there's going to be something that we know that they love at this place, and I'm going to get what I like at this other place. But if you're down to eat some chicken tenders, then you can always get your own meal at Kiddopolis.
Well, the thing too about kids meals, the thing about kids food is, there's about 6 things that kids eat.
Exactly.
It's quesadillas, it's chicken nuggets, it's mac and cheese. Sometimes it's like a cheeseburger or a hamburger, or like a hot dog, like chicken fingers, whatever. Like it's not.
Yeah. So Kiddopolis could reasonably offer all of them.
Yeah.
And make them quite good, and then with like several awesome, hearty, healthy sides, right?
Yeah. You have some. It's not just apples; it's apples and vegetables, and like there's sweet potato fries, and like whatever.
Exactly.
I just think it's surprising to me.
I think this is brilliant. I actually think this is a brilliant idea.
Because when I first saw it, I was like, it'd be handy. I'm like, I wonder how much. And then I looked it up. I was like, wait a minute, 20%?
Yeah, that is like the huge leading figure that you come into the conversation with.
Billions of dollars.
Exactly.
And granted, like McDonald's has a really interesting, like how they do business is interesting. But still, huge. At this point, Anyway,
what a good idea.
It would be definitely It would be definitely more capital centric. Like you'd need money to start it, but I think you could prove it out pretty easily. Because the food itself, like it's not revolution. You don't need like crazy chefs. You just need like, corn dogs and whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to really get that creative menu wise.
Yeah,
which I guess is nice.
Well, and the other cool thing is, so one thing that's also kind of annoying about kids meals is that, for the most part, like there are some that like you can ask like, oh, do you actually have this? Or like, do you have one for like younger kids or like a boy one instead of a girl one?
Mm-hmm.
It's like kind of awkward, you know, like a lot of places are like, no, it's like, this is, you get what you get. Whereas this, it's like, no, like we got the boys toys, we got the girls toys, we got the baby toys. Like we got the adult toys.
We got
like,
toys.
Yeah, probably not adult toys.
We
Grown-up
got,
toys.
yeah, we have options galore.
Yeah. So like that would
and
be
all
part
of them
of
are
it.
very exciting for your child.
Like
And
you would yeah, it's like that's part of the value prop is that like you can
it
make
comes in a cute little box thing.
yeah, and it's
know.
fun. It's got mazes, all the you know, just like a cereal box or whatever.
Exactly.
Get
I
out
think
the
it's a
list.
good idea. I think the challenge, of course, is that I don't. It's full of challenges, right?
Yeah.
It's like how willing will parents be to try somewhere new when they could just go get a Happy Meal? How could you get a location to get enough traction to test the idea thoroughly?
Yeah.
Could you make good,
Well, you got to get your
interesting
margins
food?
right. That's I mean,
Yeah.
but it's mostly fried food. It's like you know, nothing. Kiddopolis.
Kiddopolis. Love it.
All right, now this next idea, Andre,
Is kid centric.
I mean, it's definitely something more for kids, but it's not exclusive to kids.
Okay.
Adults would go to this as well, but probably, I think kids would.
Okay.
I
Sure.
mean, like it's like the aquarium, you know, like
Yeah.
adults go to
It's-
the aquarium, but it's like
right.
more for kids than not, you know.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about zoos. When was the last time you went to the
Yes.
zoo? I feel like I've
It's
asked
been
you
a
this
long-
before.
It's been a long time. Maybe 3 years ago.
I had like my two truths and a lie for a long time was that I'd never been to the zoo because I didn't go to the
that
zoo
was
until
the
like
lie? Oh,
I
that's true?
I hadn't gone until I was like 23 or something like that. Like I just never went when I was a kid. I know
that is insane.
it was just like I was always an off.
Not even on a field trip?
No, I know, right? Like that's what everyone's like. What about a field trip? It's like it was like every other year, and it was never my year, and like just never went.
That's crazy.
I know. Anyway, I've been to the zoo several times now. Here's the thing. There's a couple things that are frustrating about the zoo. So one, it's this like big sprawling place, and it's like, you know, for kids, you're like walking around. Kids get tired. And even aquariums are like this too. It's like, especially if the younger the kids are, like you know, they get unruly. It's like, but like understandably, it's like you gotta have a big lion cage and whatever. Right. The other problem is a lot of these animals, if you go at the wrong time, the zoo kind of sucks. Everyone's asleep.
This
No
is a
one's there.
fact of the zoo, which
It's just
is
like, oh man.
it's stunning to me how frequently a zoo visit can just suck.
Yes. So, I have a solution that I'm calling MicroZoos. And MicroZoos take you know if you go to like Petco and there's like animals there, right? Or like a puppy barn. We like to be around animals, like we do. Like and
Right.
those are like
Exactly.
smaller establishments, right? So the idea is animals transfer in and out of zoos, right? Like they're like, oh, we're getting otters, we're getting whatever, right? So a microzoo is like a transitionary place in between shelters, in between zoos, in between whatever, right? And the idea is like they're kind of constantly changing, and it's not you're not going to have elephants there, but you are going to have kind of those small to medium sized zoo animals in like a regular storefront. And the idea is like it's pretty cheap to go there. It'd be like probably less than $5. And it's like, yeah, you go and like you know you have some animals you could feed, and like you'd have like kind of big, more like you know, they're smaller cages, but they're not really going to be there for like all that long. Like if you go a few weeks later, it's like that animal's gone now. So it's a way to go and visit these animals in this like this place where it's like some of them, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's an aviary. It's like, great. Like this is the space they need. You don't need to make a whole huge ecosystem for them. I just think that I could go to this MicroZoo, which has a high density of animals in a really small space. And it's like, whoa, like you walk through a couple aisles or whatever. It's like, yeah, there's this and there's that, and there's this and there's cool variety, whatever. And you spend an hour there and it's, $3 a head or whatever. And then you leave, and then you're like, you go check in a couple of weeks, and maybe it's a new set of animals, or somebody's still there. The meerkats are still there. I don't know, whatever. Right. And I think you could franchise something like this. I think you could work out a way where it's like government funded. Maybe there's like some rehabilitation or whatever, or even
just make up something.
I don't know,
some rehab. I don't know.
Yeah. Even if it's like if it was like, and this is where like it's not fully baked yet, because like I think there are, obviously I don't know like the exact ways you can do all this, but I think something like this could work.
I think so too, and I have a narrative that I will tell around it. But first, I thought for a second that you were going to pitch just like the circus again. And it's like, what if everybody sat in kind of a coliseum-like area and they trotted the animals out in front of you and did tricks and things like that? But no, you didn't pitch that. So one, and if you are on TikTok, listeners of the podcast, go to TikTok and type in the reptile zoo. The other day on TikTok, it was like 2:00 in the morning, and I was watching this zoo, and it's a really small zoo. And they only have reptiles, if you may have guessed. And it's not a huge spot. And it's I think it's in like a strip mall in LA, the one that I'm thinking of. I'm trying to find it on the internet and having a hard time. But and the density of animals is huge, partially because they're reptiles, right? And we know that like snakes and lizards don't need a ton of space.
That's like an easy low hanging animal. Where it's like, yep, you got reptiles, you got rodents, like you can get all that
exactly. Like those are really easy to do. So I'm thinking like, what if the MicroZoo was positioned around like you have some of these animals that are there all the time that are like you got a big lizard, you got a tortoise, you got some of that stuff that's like kind of easier to maintain smaller habitats around. And then you have like 1, 2, or 3 rotating exhibits where like the lemurs come for a little bit, the otters come for a little bit. That makes sense to me. And what would be interesting is
it's the crumble model with animals.
It's the crumble exactly. Is you could get people coming more regularly because there are things that haven't been there before. And I wish that I knew more or had been to like more zoos more recently, because I think that there is this like category of small to medium sized animals that are not like extraordinarily exotic and could exist in like this traveling, rotating environment.
I'll give you a good example. If you next time you drive down to Vegas,
yes, if you're about to tell me about the freaking petting zoo,
I am.
Yes.
So the petting zoo in Scipio, it's at a gas station, and there's about 15 animals there. It's just this like
very
outdoor
small situation. It's a
small.
roadside attraction.
It is. But there's a zonkey, there's a camel, there's some peacocks, there's some big potbelly pigs.
Exactly.
And guess what? My kids freaking love it.
Exactly.
Right? And they're in
and that is exactly
cages.
the kind of creatures that would rotate through this zoo. Is like a peacock. That makes perfect sense. We don't always have a peacock, but from time to time we have a couple of peacocks, and you can come in and you can feed them out of your hand, and then they go on to wherever their destination is, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. And I think that there are hundreds of animals that are in that category of like, honestly, they're probably most of the time or very frequently like exotic pets, and they come here and they have a cute little exhibit, and you focus on education. And
like a fox exhibit would be so sweet.
Exactly. And that is exactly the kind of animal. It's not an elephant. There are no elephants at the MicroZoo. And it's humane and cool. And there is sometimes a fox, and there's sometimes a peacock.
I think you could do...
And there's sometimes a camel, and there is sometimes a zonkey, and on and on and on.
I think
lynx and like all these different things.
I think you could have, as far as fixed features, I think you could have a bird area, a reptile area, and a fish area that are just like they're basically always there. You maybe have one small tank thing that gets like swapped out here and there, but like those are like almost always there. And then you have kind of your mammals that are just like for the most part swapping in and out. And yeah, because the other hard thing about the zoo is that it's like $60, you know, like it's expensive.
It is expensive.
And so, and understandably, it's like a huge thing. It's all this land, employees and stuff. Like, I get it. So this, like, you remove a lot of that baggage, and yeah, like the expectation is like, hey, we're not always going to have.
Yeah, and we're not going to have some of the big ticket items of a zoo. Yeah. We're not even going to have anything really close to that. But we're going to have some animals that you'll be able to get closer to. They'll be more active. You'll get just kind of a more intimate experience with a handful of interesting and unique animals. They're still cool, and it's still fun to be around animals, but it's just not a lion, right?
Right.
And again, MicroZoo. And MicroZoo, you could pitch investors on MicroZoos all day.
Right? It feels like a 21st century establishment, or it feels like it should exist already, you know. And
I really want to find the history of the petting zoo, but I can't.
Oh, by the way, speaking of small reptile zoos, do you ever listen to Nate Bargatze?
No.
He's a comedian, and he's one of my favorite comedians. He has a special. He has several specials on Netflix. He has 2, but his first special, it's technically part of a Netflix special called The Stand-Ups. And he's the first episode of that special. Everyone needs to watch that special. It is so effing funny.
Really?
And at the very end, he ends with this story where he goes to the Serpentarium in North Carolina. And it is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. So that's my
go
plug
listen to that segment.
For Nate Bargatze. Watch that one and then watch his other 2 specials, and you will fall in love with Nate Bargatze. He is so funny. Mm-hmm. Anyway, MicroZoos.
Do you think anybody owns the zoo? This Scipio petting zoo it's called? Do you think
some guy, it's just some guy.
I know, but I'm trying to find any data on it and I can't. But anyway, there is this petting zoo in Central Utah. I want to mention this mostly because your MicroZoo has to not be like this place at all. It can't be like a roadside petting zoo. It has to be classy and professional. Like, this shouldn't strike in people the feeling of like, wow, I feel like I'm at
like
sketchy
a jail for animals. No,
it
needs to be
educational and have 100%. Like a mission and a vision, and it should be driven around like animal education. Yeah. It just there can be zoos that are smaller and more intimate. There should be a concept that is embraced and like more interesting to people without them being like petting zoos or without being kind of like pet store type zoos.
Yeah, like if you go to there's a children's museum here, and one of the components is this butterfly museum. And you go there, it's like got a lot about bugs and ants and butterflies or whatever. And like there's a little section where like they're like showing people. It's like kids can go up and like look at like someone holding a big, grasshopper or like a praying mantis or whatever. It's like, wow, that's kind of cool. Again, it's not that complicated. Insects don't need a lot of room. And you could have a little insect zone,
Exactly. I like this idea a lot. And MicroZoo, that could easily catch on.
I know. It's like we just give out gold to our thieves here.
I know.
And people are like, has anyone stolen any of your ideas? It's like, people freaking should, man.
Exactly.
We're just giving out gold after gold. But again, another.
Do we have a name? I think it could maybe just be MicroZoo. I don't know. I think that could almost be a name in itself. The concept is MicroZoos, but I kind of feel like let's go to the MicroZoo. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think you would call it the city MicroZoo, the Lehigh MicroZoo, the Salt Lake MicroZoo.
Exactly.
Join the MicroZoo network.
Those are 2 very good workshops.
Thank you. That's what happens when you get 2 weeks off, thieves.
You just drum up all these amazing
ideas. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for the episode. I don't know if we have anything in the mailbag, but
just a lot of love for thieves. That's what's in my personal mailbag.
I mean, I know that Joseph Kane is still an avid listener.
Yes, we love you, Joseph. Thank you for listening.
He was. What did he say? He said he has an idea that may not warrant its own business, but maybe could be a bolt-on. He said a Kodiak cake. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, of course.
Kodiak cake pancake in a cup breakfast drive-through. And you add whatever toppings you want: Nutella, syrup, fruit, applesauce, peanut butter, nuts.
Definitely a bolt-on, but still like a very good idea.
And I said you should call it power. I think you call it power cups.
Power cups.
It's pretty good.
Love it. That is a good idea.
And he said Andre's gonna love the opportunity to talk about fruit cups again.
Fruit cups. One of Scott's worst ideas. This was an idea that Scott had. That was it was almost as good as Joseph's idea, except it was just fruit. So stupid.
No. I think I called it treetop.
I've never heard that name before. You definitely did not call it that.
It's something like that.
Sure, whatever you say. Anyway, that's the fruit cups idea that is bad. But Joseph's idea of a more drive-through multi-breakfast option is much better.
He also said, how about an app that scans your outfit and lets you know if the colors match and if there's real or trending clash? Or there's something clashes that isn't allowed.
That seems like really... AI is definitely there to produce such an app. I feel like this would be a good project for a AI computer science student.
Yeah, what I said is, what about a more like an Uber economy where somebody who is fashionable for basically like a micro amount, it's
like judges your outfit, and
it's just like, hey, do I look good? It's like, I wouldn't wear that. That's not very flattering. I'd go with this instead. And it's like a 1-minute call. Yeah. And they get like $1 for it or something.
Like super creative idea. I would never use such a service. That's just almost a perfect way to just ruin your day. Like, because you look like trash. It's like, okay, I can go change, but I still feel bad about myself now.
Well, so like my wife listens.
Or you do it 5 times. You do it for every day of the week, and every single day of the week you fail, and you're just like, great. I guess I'm just ugly.
My wife listens. There's an Instagrammer, I can't remember who it is, but it's a gal, and she'll be like, oh, like here are tips to like kind of, it's not what to wear, but like how to wear certain things that like give off a more flattering appearance. So it's like how to like tie a shirt around your waist, or like like better ways to like lay your hair down if you're like wearing a certain type of thing or whatever. And it's like, it's like more. If you do this, like it
just like easy, actionable tips.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
And so like something like this, where it's like it's not somebody just like trashing on you. It's like, if that's what you're gonna wear, this is how I would add this to your.
If you insist on wearing that outfit, I would probably recommend maybe working from home today.
Maybe just throw on like a sports jersey and just really go for it.
Just give up, right? Like you want to go for kind of that trashy, chic vibe.
Get some sweatpants back on. Get your sweatpants back on. Thieves, we want to hear from you. Lots of ways to do it. Obviously, idea at ghoststealthecity.com. Joseph, hit us up on LinkedIn.
Feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn.
But
you can find us on Twitter.
We love
@ScottTheAmazing, @AndreWatch0. You can find our website, ghoststealthecity.com, which links you out to all the different places that you can find us. You can rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also support us on Patreon to show your love for the show. We'd love to see you there too.
Love to see all that. Thieves, we appreciate it always. Thanks for cutting us some slack when we're not here some weeks. But we love you. We appreciate you. And we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Use Scipio, the #1 engagement tool for sales teams that want more responses, appointments, and conversations. Message your leads and customers where they are, on their phone. I'm not talking about phone calls. We're talking about true one-to-one texting. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. Use the code STEAL at Scipio.com for 2 free licenses. See you later, thieves.